All right, I'm going to pull this up over on Twitch and just make sure it's running. Yep, we're live, so I'm going to send it over to all the Discord channels.
Okay. Now wait, we're live, but people can't see us, right?
Right. They can
Okay.
hear us, but they can't see us.
Okay. I'm gonna shave my back soon. What?
I just think it's funny if someone happened to be in here and they just see the screen saying, hey, stream starting soon. All of a sudden we hear, I need to shave my back soon.
Well, it's getting uncomfortable, you know? Dad.
Yep.
Dad, I checked out this thing I bought Nikki yesterday.
Hold on one sec.
Look at this.
I'm coming.
It's
That's a
literally
rather
as big as-
large dog.
It's literally 1 foot shorter than her.
That's pretty funny. All right, let me just
Only
post.
$40. Can you believe that?
Interesting.
Yeah. And she's using it as a replacement for her body pillow.
Copy that.
Perfect. Dad, look.
Hold on. I'm trying to shut down Discord so I don't get any notifications while we're live.
How's that for decoration?
He needs like some steampunk goggles on or something.
I have those. I literally have those.
Yeah, they won't fit on him.
Should I
Though.
go get
They're
them?
No, they're too big. They're too small. They won't fit on him.
They're elastic, Dad.
Yeah, but I mean, it'll be right in between his eyes. The goggles will be between his eyes. His eyes are too far apart.
Maybe. Yeah. Oh well. Oh well, still cute. I hate this music though. I hate EDM.
Yeah, but it's very nerd culture-ish. So that's why and that's
And it's also generic EDM.
Well, I know, but that's because
And
it's
so
free.
it's even worse.
That's because it's free,
I know.
and everybody uses it. I mean,
I know.
Stephen
I know
Ashley
everybody
uses it too.
uses
It's just intro stuff. There's different stuff you can listen to. I just try to get stuff that sounds more nerdy and stuff, and I listen to the whole thing, all the stuff that they have, and if I see one, I'll hit the like button and it adds it to our like list, and then before we start going live, I just play our like list.
Okay.
But I can switch. Let's do a different song. There you go. This is one of my favorites.
Want to start now?
Yeah, I'm about to. I was just looking at a couple of other things.
I'm trying to get my energy up so I can stay awake. I need someone to slap me. That's what I need.
Nikki!
She wouldn't do it. She loves me too much. She'd spank me, but that's a whole other thing. Oh wait, Dad.
Yeah.
How funny would it be if right when we start, the first thing they see is me slapping myself?
Dude, that's on you. You do whatever you want to. We're going live in 4 minutes, so.
Okay. Oh, Dad.
Yep.
Check out what Nikki got us.
Aww. Yeah, I just put up our stockings today, and it looks weird seeing all 5 of them up there, and yours being up there and you not being here.
Yeah. I forget. Where'd you guys get those stockings? Were they made? And
3 of them, I think, were gifts from somebody. They didn't make them; they bought them for us, and then I think we just bought some more. We just found some more online. You know,
Okay.
Mom didn't make them, and she doesn't know who made them. We just bought them that way.
Okay. I can't wait to have my own kids and have my big bear stocking right at the front.
Right.
And the bear one was always mine, right?
Yeah.
The one with the
Yeah,
polar
and
bear on it?
I didn't see the bear in there today, but I put them up. I saw 2 deer ones and the snowflake and the ice skating one, and then mine, my big one. So, I was thinking it was a bear.
I always had the bear one.
I
right?
know, and so I've got to look. I don't know why that's weird. So anyway, I'll have to look for it. Maybe I just looked at it wrong. So
Yeah, you better because I love that stocking.
buy one.
Oh, shut up. Shut it.
I need to
Get it.
raise my
Get
mic up a little bit.
Yeah. In the last couple episodes, you've been kind of quiet.
No, it's not that. It's I kind of end up leaning down into it. One up.
Dad,
What is
Dad,
this?
you're not Italian. You can't do it. Stop. you, you, you're not wearing overalls. You don't have a mustache. You're not Italian.
Okay.
Stop. You're not Mario. You're not even Luigi.
All right. I mean, it doesn't really matter what time we start, probably, because nobody's going to show up anyway. It's a Saturday night. So.
Yeah, no, nobody cares about us anyway.
But we put ourselves out there anyway. And you know what? Even though we don't get a lot of people, I had 99 people for the charity stream and had $500. And I've been a panelist at DragonCon, and I'll do it again next year. So, you know, just because we're not big doesn't mean we're not important.
True.
All right, well, let's get started.
Maybe once I start my solo stuff, I'll get some more clout and some more popularity that'll bring.
Yeah, maybe. And now we get to wait for everything to catch up and for it to be all. Oh, got to get Chase. I always forget Chase. Ow.
I'm okay now. I'm wide awake.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Gene Pool Variety Hour. This is episode 34, and
Greetings.
What's up? And I am Sean. I'm the old dad of the group, and that guy over there is.
And I'm Connor, the slap happy member of the group.
Okay, keep talking. I'm looking at something real quick.
And welcome to the Gene Pool Variety Hour podcast. We are
hey, there you go. You do it. You did it for once, right?
We are obviously a father and son team. You know, for years we lived basking in the cold cleanliness of nerdliness in our own home, no one else understanding us, and so we decided to just bond over it and start sharing our nerdiness and our geek cultural sensitivity. I'm glowing my first time doing this, aren't I?
Yeah, you kind of are. Anyway, yeah, we're the only nerds in the house. Connor has moved away now. He's moving on doing his whole adult thing, but this is our way to get together once a week.
Got my lovely wife
and still talk all of our geeky stuff. And now we keep it on usually Friday nights, but we had to shift it a night to Saturday night and do this every week. And so, what kind of things do we do on the podcast anyway?
Well, let's see. We our usual repertoire goes on as a general life update, which leads to some fun chicken chasing topics.
Well, yeah.
And then we go into our geek question, which is basically a topic of discussion we always go through to help explore and broaden our minds to better accept geekiness. And then we review a random movie we roll for in the previous episode in a segment we call Rolling for Credits.
You just said it wrong. You said it wrong.
Roll for credits.
Thank you very much. I want to be duly noted.
I cracked up.
I want to be duly noted.
I'm sorry.
I want to be duly noted that it was you that messed up this time, not me. Yeah, and we need to work on being more succinct. So, yep, we talk life stuff, and and one of the other things that we talk about, and that whole the life update stuff is one of the reasons why we kind of started this. On the more serious side is we've grown up with Asperger's in the house. Connor has Asperger's, and it's created lots of different challenges over the years, and it's created some significant challenges in that effort to moving towards adulthood. And so sometimes it still creates issues, and that becomes a topic of conversation. By the way, I'm a psychologist, so it kind of leads to those kind of discussions every now and then. So anyway, So that's us. We just kind of
I
hang
was
out and
born being
talk.
psychoanalyzed.
I don't do psychoanalysis because I'm not Freudian. I'm a cognitive behavioral therapist, so I don't do psychoanalysis. That's a Freudian thing. That's a more psychodynamic thing, not a cognitive behavioral thing. But anyway,
You still shrank me the moment they plopped me in your arms. I bet.
oh yeah, you really look shrunk, don't you? So,
Oh yeah, I'm now close to twice your size, and
yep.
I'm trying to bench press you with one arm.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, but anyway. So,
Oh, trust me, I can.
so
Check out
anyway,
these guns.
I'm still looking.
Oh, shut up.
So, all right. So, what do we want to do? Where do we want to start? What do you feel like talking about? I've got, you know,
As usual, our life update.
well,
Let's start with what games
that's,
have we been playing?
oh, okay. Well, it's not always a life update, but I mean,
Well, I mean, this it's
okay.
something.
I, Destiny. I mean,
Yeah, that's all we've been playing.
well,
Dad got
because
me sucked into it. Dang
because
it.
Beyond Light came out, and now it's all on Game
Yeah,
Pass, so that's why you were able to get to it for free, and it's interesting.
partially for free.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I like it, and some of the changes they've made are pretty good. But today was day one of the new raid, and all these groups were racing to do the raid for the first time to see who could be the world's first group to complete it. And so I said, hey, well, I'm decorating the house. I'm doing the Christmas tree and stuff. I'll just turn Twitch on the TV on the Xbox and watch it. And literally, like 4 hours later, they're on the second encounter. And there's usually, like 4 or 5 encounters in a raid, and they're on the second encounter after 4 hours. And granted, I know they're trying to figure out all the mechanics and stuff, but it was exhausting to watch, much less to have done it. So that's one of the reasons why I don't raid. I've
Never done a raid.
I did Vault of Glass on the original D1, and then was it Oryx, the one on the moon, the big guy. I've done 2 different raids. Those are the only 2 that I've not done any of the raids on D2, because you have to have, even if you know all the mechanics, it's a good 3 or 4 hour commitment unless you're like one of these, world class people that play. But for me and my group, at least 3 or 4 hours, even when we know what to do. And getting 6 of us together to do that's just tough. And raids are not usually something that you can really do with like an LFG group, looking for group. With a bunch of people that you don't know. You kind of need to know and be able to communicate well, and that's tough. So
Yeah.
I'm more just kind of the playing around and the strikes and the nightfalls and the PvE gambit a little bit. I mean, that's the extent of the PvP that I like. I can't stand Crucible. I can't stand Trials of Osiris. I do Iron Banner only because it gets me a lot of Pinnacle gear. But other than that, if I never played Crucible, I'd be completely, and if they took it away, I'd be fine. So that's what I've been doing.
I'm just
game
glad.
wise.
I'm just glad you're not as obsessed with it as you were when Destiny 1 came out.
Oh,
and
it was
literally
bad.
waking up.
Yeah, I was playing it every
mean,
morning, every night. Yeah, just to try to keep up with everybody and keep up with all the dailies and the weeklies. It's structured a little bit differently now, and so you can kind of knock that stuff out. Like when I game late on Friday nights, Friday night, Saturday morning, I can basically knock all that stuff out in one play. I don't have to do a mission every single day kind of thing. I can knock them all out at once.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there's that.
And I've been doing kind of the same thing. Been playing Destiny 2. Because with the way Destiny 2 is, Dad's right. It's become more of a game you can just pick up and play when you can, and you don't have to try and scramble to try and keep up with everyone because.
Yeah.
Because at this point, everyone is already 100 levels ahead of you, or
whatever,
and it's just
if you're a PvP person, you got to grind to stay on top of it, to stay light level to keep up with everybody. If you're doing PvE stuff, other than the few PvE things that require a specific light level, like some of the Nightfalls and yada yada yada, yeah. But you can do that at your own pace. So which one are you doing? Are you doing your Titan? Is that the one you're playing? Have you played
That's
it?
the one I'm maining. Yeah.
Have you played the Beyond Light stuff at all yet?
Of of course, I've already met Crow, and I've already started taking down the Wrathborns and everyone.
Oh, see, I haven't started doing the Wrathborn hunts yet. I've just been trying to get my stasis ability built up a little bit. So I've
That's
been staying on Europa doing that, and I haven't been doing any of the
yeah.
Wrathborn hunts
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, I need to do that too, because my darkness thing is basically still at its basic level,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like it's cool getting to punch people with ice, but at the same time, I kind of want the base thing for the Titan is basically you could get this gauntlet of stasis ice, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and you basically do some sort of booster charge towards an enemy, but the aiming
Yeah.
mechanic is kind of off, and and so you don't make like a straight beeline towards the enemy,
Yeah.
because you can still move your character, and so if you're off by just a hair,
Yeah.
you basically just miss the character, and they just get slowed down,
Right.
and they don't get the full damage.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, um,
the only time it's really useful is when you're against a big boss, and
mm-hmm.
they take up a big chunk of map, and once you're on them, you just keep on punching and
Yeah.
punching
Yeah.
and punching and punching.
Well, on the getting the extra abilities to the stasis, those quest lines are usually 5 to 7 steps each, so it's a bit of a grind. So, and to get one of them, you have to go through a 5-step exotic weapon quest to get the weapon to progress in the other one. So I mean,
The stasis prototype shotgun.
yes. Well, it's not a shotgun; it's a rocket launcher or something like that. It's in the heavy weapon.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, it can still be a quote unquote heavy weapon,
Yeah.
and be like a shotgun, just like how now an auto rifle can be an energy weapon.
Sure, but I mean, you could be right, but I don't think I've ever seen a shotgun in the heavy weapon category. I've seen grenade launchers, I've seen rocket launchers, I've seen swords, machine
Use
guns.
You've seen a fusion rifle.
Yeah, but not a shotgun. I don't think I've ever seen a
No,
shotgun in a
no,
heavy weapon.
but but that right there proves who's a non-traditional exotic weapons can be somewhere else.
Sure. I'll tell you what. I can pull it right now and tell you.
Okay, go ahead.
So, not to try to prove you wrong, but just to kind of find out the answer because I don't remember. So anyway, anything? Kind of heavy, important stuff. I was supposed to be in Savannah all week this week and had to come back early because my sister-in-law and mother-in-law got COVID, and so your mom wanted to leave for Thanksgiving early, so she left early, which meant I had to come home early to kind of cover down on house stuff now that she was gone to be out there. And your aunt, my sister-in-law, she's now fever-free. She's already fine on the mend, but your grandmother, my mother-in-law, she's been struggling. She's been struggling with fever, and now they just found out she's got pneumonia. So they've got her in the hospital just to kind of get some antibiotics to kind of get that under control. Her blood oxygenation is good, so that's good, but if I could say bad words, I'd say bad words. Screw COVID, I'm really our family has been hit really hard. Your mom and your brother, now your aunt and your grandmother. It's been crappy, and I just thank the good Lord that you haven't gotten it yet, and that I haven't gotten it yet, or your other brother hasn't gotten it yet.
I've gotten a bunch of other stuff though.
Well, yeah, but I can deal with the other stuff.
If you remember, half my face was literally paralyzed.
Yeah, but that's not a contagious thing. So
true.
It's just a Bell's palsy. So anyway, so that's kind of what's been going on here on this end. Life just continues to be COVID deciding to wreak havoc and just making life interesting and difficult and frustrating, and whatever.
Yeah,
So that's what's going on this end.
On this end, the governor is talking about shutting down all
Yeah.
restaurants, bars, and gyms again,
Mm-hmm.
and 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 so that got me and Nikki worried because
Yeah.
what if they extend that to other types of jobs? My fairly new job could be at risk, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I know.
But I managed to talk to my supervisor, who also asked our big head of MPW at that Honda plant,
Mm-hmm.
about this stuff, and he said, "Don't worry, we already have it confirmed. Our jobs are safe at this factory."
Yeah, well, that's good because I mean, it's probably considered an essential. I mean, you're building cars for people,
Yes.
and me.
Technically, I'm not.
Well,
I'm
but
cleaning
you're
the
working
parts
for the
that.
factory. Yes, but you're part of that
Yes, I know.
process. So, and I work for the military, so I think my job's pretty safe.
Military will always be essential.
Yeah, always. So we're
Dad,
good there.
I've got a quick question.
Sure,
I've got a quick question.
sure. Go ahead.
Were you ever a fan of the Animaniacs?
No.
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
They rebooted it on Hulu. That's all I'm saying.
No, I was never. I mean, some people are, but I just see. By the time some of these cartoons came out, I was kind of married and having you and your having family and stuff, and so I was in grad school, so I wasn't an animated TV show fan much.
True.
And then it came a little bit later, when y'all were little, that I got to be a fan of, Powerpuff Girls and all that stuff because I'd watch it with you.
You were
guys.
a fan of Powerpuff Girls?
Because I'd watch it with you guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'd sit down. No, because I would sit down and watch it with you guys, and so I got to start watching a lot of animated stuff again then because I was watching it with you. But in that time between when I was like high school, college, and Ren and Stimpy type stuff, and that
Ren and
stuff.
Stimpy.
Yeah, Stimpy, you idiot. So anyway. Let's move
Ren.
Let's move on. Man. I don't have anything else.
You know what show I loved?
Yeah, what?
Angry Beavers.
Okay. Yeah, well,
I loved that show.
I can picture the two actors that did those voices. I can't think of their names, but I can picture them. And one of them, the one that was kind of had the nerdy sounding voice, which one was that?
Daggo Waggle. Or
okay.
Oh man,
don't.
What was the blonde beaver's name?
I don't remember. I don't remember their names. Come on, please.
What the heck? That's gonna drive me crazy. The rest of the stream.
Okay, well then let it drive you crazy the rest of the stream. But anyway, the one that had the nerdier voice, I can't remember the guy's name. He was, if I remember. He was in the movie. The only time I ever saw him in anything, and when I heard him in the Beaver show cartoon, I immediately knew who it was. He played a character in the movie Summer School. I think that was what he was in. I think that was the movie that he was in. He played a nerd in that too. But anyway, so okay.
Actually, yes. I think the guy that did that voice also did Zim from Invader Zim, and then also Chaos from Skylanders.
He may have. I don't know.
I think. They all kind of have the same nasally, high-pitched kind of voice.
Yeah. Well, if we had people in the chat room with us today, we would send them off to Google to find it.
We don't have anyone here except bots.
Well, and that's just my bot to remind people about the charity stream. That link is still in there. I think the link is still live. If people still want to donate to that charity, they can certainly do that. No, I mean, dude, there's nothing wrong. It's a good charity. So, all right, look, I got nothing else to talk about. So let's just jump into our stuff. So, sure. I promised last time I would have a sound effect for the geek question, and I don't. Couldn't find.
Did not deliver.
I forgot.
Then
straight up honest, I forgot. But then today I remembered it, and I started looking, and I just couldn't find anything that I liked. So I'm going to spend some more time just sitting down with it and looking. I'll be taking at least a few days off next week for Thanksgiving, and so I might do it then. But anyway, so So I don't have a sound effect for it, but let's just jump into our geek question. So
All right.
you're the master of the geek question. So what's the geek question? Oh God, come on, man! Just ask the stinking question.
You called me the master, Herm, so I had to make that pose.
Well, I was going to say the master.
Anyway,
I was going to say the master of your domain, but that's a completely other
different
reference.
thing.
Yeah. Do you know what that is?
It sounds familiar. What is it?
It's from Seinfeld. It's an episode of Seinfeld. It's one of the classic Seinfeld episodes.
I never watched Seinfeld.
Are you the master of your domain? They got into it, because Seinfeld. Okay, hold on.
Chicken. This is a
Yeah,
chicken.
absolutely. Seinfeld was a show about nothing. That's what they taught. That's what they said. It was a show about nothing. And they would just have these weird conversations, and they would end up having entire episodes about things. And so they started having a conversation about taking care of yourself when you needed to.
Okay. Nope. 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 No. 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 Nope. Nope. Nope.
It's
Nope.
a no.
Let's stop right there.
Oh, just because I'm
Stop
explaining.
you right there.
I'm explaining the master of your domain. So they started a bet who could go the longest without doing that, and anytime they got into the house, they would say, "Are you the master of your domain?" Yes, I am. And, and then the one time Kramer, because Kramer, when he would come in, he would come busting into Jerry's door. He came busting into Jerry's door and he slammed a $10 bill or whatever on the counter. He's like, I'm out. And that was it. So whenever you hear somebody talk about master of your domain, it's referring to that episode of Seinfeld. Okay, so you're the master of the geek question. So what is the geek question?
This week, the geek question is, in your opinion, what is more important to an actor's career? The impact of their roles, or the multitude of their roles?
So quality versus quantity, basically.
Exactly.
Okay, go.
Um, in my opinion, it's the quality and the impact and the memorableness of the role.
Okay.
Like, that's because that's what makes your career.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, Harrison Ford.
Mm-hmm.
He has had a lot of good roles, but anytime you hear Harrison Ford, two names only really come up for me anyway, and that's Indiana Jones and Han Solo.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Same
sure.
Same thing with Jim Carrey. Again, a lot of good roles,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, the only things that really come up for me is Ace Ventura and then The Mask. A bunch of these actors have had really good roles, but they've always had one or two iconic roles,
Mm-hmm.
that help them open up the doors in getting into a new level and a new genre of movies.
Yeah.
A perfect example of this, Chris Pratt. Before Guardians of the Galaxy, we only really saw him in kind of comedic, funny side character roles, like Andy Dwyer in Parks and Rec.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he got Star-Lord, Peter Quill in Guardians of the Galaxy, he busted through that ceiling, and he got all these other kinds of amazing roles because of what he did.
Yeah.
He got
but that was the Marvel. That was the Marvel effect. That more so than it was just how good he was in the movie. That was the fact that it was a Marvel movie that made him a household name.
But still.
Yeah.
Still, he went from chubby, funny, goofy Andy to could bench press my head Star-Lord.
Well, I hope he could bench press your head. Your head's not that fracking big, as you say. Using
what I mean is he went from that to Star-Lord,
Yeah.
And then the thing I love is that in Parks and Rec, after they did Guardians of the Galaxy, there's a reference to the amazing shape Andy got in to explain how he went from chubby to in shape.
He stopped drinking beer.
Exactly. He just stopped drinking beer, and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a small chicken. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I just found that funny. But still, in my opinion, it's the impact of the roles that help make a person's career, because a lot of times people get these roles solely on the impacts they've had on previous roles. You know.
Yeah, yeah. But okay, um, I don't think you. I don't think it can be because what you've mentioned impact. That's kind of the direction you're going is the impact of the roles.
Yeah.
But for both of your examples that you've given, exception of Chris Pratt maybe a little bit, it's been a combination of quality and quantity because it's Han Solo across vast number of times that
Ah,
he's played him.
it's one character though.
I understand.
Several movies, yes, but it's one character, one
I
role.
I get that. I get that. But so I think I don't think, for example, I've been racking my brain today, trying to think of someone who had a very impactful role in a movie, and you really didn't hear from them again. I've been trying to rack my brain, kind of like a one-hit wonder in music, bands that have a number one hit song and you never hear from them again, kind of thing. And I've been trying to rack my brain and come up with somebody, and I can't think of somebody. And so that,
Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone.
well, again, that's a kid, and I think kids. Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
Was kind of a one-hit wonder. Home Alone 2 was crap. Home Alone 3 didn't even have the same
Well,
cast at all.
but it was a franchise, and so that carried it. So, and so I think that kind of argues my point a little bit that there are people out there that have had impactful roles and you never really heard from them again, or they never had big roles again, and I can't think of them. So they're not sticking out in my head. So that did make their career, even though they had a single impactful role. I think it's going to have to. I think it almost has to be a combination of quality and quantity. Now, I think the quality has to be there. I agree. It has to be impactful. Because there are tons of people out there that do tons of movies and bit parts in movies and TV shows, or do really bad movies, and they're not household names. They're not huge stars. They make a living making bad movies, but they have, so they may have a huge quantity of movies and things that they've done, but they're not really famous because they haven't been quality. You know what I'm saying?
And that sometimes we have these really great actors appearing in crappy movies. A good example,
Anthony Hopkins.
Chappie had freaking Sigourney Weaver and Hugh Jackman in it.
I didn't mind Chappie too bad.
Amazing.
Yeah, I know it wasn't the best movie, but it wasn't as bad as whatever that horrid thing that Jeremy Irons and Anthony Hopkins was in that we reviewed a couple of episodes ago. The musical. That was horrid.
Yeah.
That was horrid. That was. And those are two Academy Award winning actors. That was horrid.
Yeah.
So,
but still, I mean, sometimes, I do kind of agree with you. Because a good example of someone who played a lot of roles that were iconic, but they were also kind of one-off roles. Robin Williams.
Yeah, I was thinking Sean Connery, but yeah, Robin Williams too. But I think Sean Connery's a better example than Robin Williams, though.
Sean Connery was James Bond.
And he was also
the same kind of thing with Harrison Ford.
He was also
Indiana Jones in several movies.
He was also Ramirez in Highlander. He was also the Russian captain. I can't think of his name in Hunt for Red October. He was also what else? There's some other things that he's done that were iconic things that weren't just a series of movies. They were one-off movies, but they were impactful roles. So I think you have to differentiate.
Indy's dad in Last Crusade.
Yeah, okay, whatever. But you have to. I think you have to differentiate someone who has a couple of impactful roles that were a series, like Star Wars and Indiana Jones. I mean, that was basically 10 movies right there, but he played two characters, as opposed to someone who has had impactful roles in a bunch of different roles, like an Anthony Hopkins,
or a Robin Williams.
Yeah, or Sean Connery, or any of those kind of guys. So I think
Tim Curry.
Yeah, I guess, but I think you have to combine the two. I think for someone to have a notable career, a well-known career, kind of like the Life Achievement Award type of career, I think it's got to be a combination of both. I don't think it can be just impactful or just quantity. It has to be a
No,
combination of the two.
I mean, in your opinion, and what do you think the percentage should be?
Oh,
If the percentages.
I don't
'Cause,
know. I'm not going to be that rigid. I don't. I don't have an
think
answer
it
for
would
that.
be. I think it should be about 60% role, 40% quantity.
Well, what? Because there are tons of people out there that are very busy in Hollywood. They do lots of TV shows. They do lots of movies, and they're what's called character actors. They can play a lot of different characters. They're always but they're never like a leading man. They're never a leading role type person. They're
Yeah.
always playing a side role, and they can play lots of different people in lots of different roles, but they're not the headliner. So they have great careers and they support themselves, but they don't have the type of career where people know exactly who it is. That's Sean Connery, that's Anthony Hopkins, that's Robin Williams, that's whoever, that's Harrison Ford. It's like, hey, that's that guy that he was on, he played
He was
that
in the Flash.
right, and so I think that argues against the whole quantity thing. You can have someone who is very busy and does a lot of different things, but it's not really an impactful role. You
True.
know, so I think you can have someone that can become famous because they had one very impactful role, and nothing since really. Kind of like a one-hit wonder. People will remember them for that role, but they won't remember them as one of the monuments of Hollywood, so to speak.
Yeah.
So I know
that-
I know I'm kind of sound like I'm kind of hedging my bets, going it's got to be a little bit of both, but I think it kind of does.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You're going to ask a question.
Fun fact: did you know? No, the actor who played Barry Allen.
Anytime you
was
say that, I'm
also
going to go
in-
ahead and hit a chicken.
Did you know the actor who plays Barry Allen was also in the show Glee?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those episodes where Barry sings, it's his actual talent.
Okay. Whatever.
I just think that's funny.
Yeah, I have completely lost interest in the CW superhero shows. I lost interest in the Arrow because after season, was it 2 or 3 that had Adrian Chase? Oh God,
Who?
he was Adrian Chase. He was like the villain of the season, and he was
was he the guy that was basically the dark version of Oliver, had the mask and everything?
Yeah.
Mhm. Now wait up, but wasn't that same character the guy who kidnapped his quote unquote son? And was that
It wasn't his quote.
season?
It wasn't his quote unquote son. It was his son. It was Oliver's son. He did
Yeah,
kidnap
but wasn't
him.
that in like a later season? Or
I don't know. It was
or did the guy just not or did the
no,
guy
that was the
escape
same
at the end
season.
of season 3?
No, it was the same season. It was the same season. It was the season finale of that season. I can't remember which season it was, but anyway, he was by far the best villain of their seasons. Because Oliver knew he was the bad guy, and he knew that Oliver knew he was the bad guy, and he would flaunt it in public in front of Oliver when he knew Oliver couldn't do it. He was just so. I just really. Oh God, I'm drawing a blank on the actor's name. I met him at DragonCon, had a nice conversation with him. Anyway,
I kind of liked Slade Wilson a bit better.
Yeah, I just like this guy so much better. And since after that season, it just seemed like the season's just kind of the storylines just kind of ended up being kind of a little bit of a rehash of every season. It was a little bit kind of like it just doing the same thing kind of over and over. And I started losing interest. And then when I found out that Felicity was going to leave, because I really liked the dynamic between Oliver and Felicity, that when I found out she was leaving the show, I'm like, whatever. I just lost interest. And
But they got married. How can she leave?
I don't know how she left. I don't know how they wrote her out of the show, but But anyway, and then Flash after the second season, I think it just didn't. It never really grabbed me. I liked Cisco, and that was about it. He was about the only character. I like Cisco and what's his name, the doctor that was the evil guy, and then he played a different character from the different.
Harrison Wells.
Yeah, I liked him because he just was good at his job, and he was good at playing those different roles. So I like those two. The rest of them I could take or leave. Didn't like.
Have you ever watched Supergirl?
No, never watched Supergirl because
it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, that character just never really grabbed me. So it never interested me to even start watching that one. I tried Legends of Tomorrow.
And Flash did.
Legends of Tomorrow, and I tried that first season and I didn't like it at all. And everybody says, "Oh, but it gets so much better after the second season." I'm like, "Great! I'm not going to watch an entire season of a show just to hopefully get to the second season that I like." Kind of same thing with Walking Dead. Black Lightning I watched a few episodes and it just seemed like it was too political. And
yeah, same here.
So I'm like, okay.
Have you seen Batgirl yet?
No. But she's already left the show. I mean, she left the girl that plays Batgirl left the show after one season.
So basically,
they're gonna have a different girl playing Batgirl the next season.
Oh my gosh!
So I mean,
but wait, wasn't the girl who was playing Batgirl the same girl who played the deaf girl in John Wick?
Yes, Ruby Rose, something like that. Ruby something. Anyway, yes, that's her. And she loved playing the character, but she said, I think she just didn't like playing the character, and she just wanted to move on. I don't know, but she left after the first season, so they're gonna have to get somebody else.
Up.
Yeah, so I mean, I hate it when that happens. So I just kind of lost interest, stopped watching them. You know. Anyway, it is what it is. But
what are you watching nowadays, though?
How in the world did we get on that? Oh, your fun fact. That was a whole chicken farm's worth of chickens. Jeez Louise.
But Dad,
yeah.
But seriously, what have you been watching lately?
Just a lot of rehash of stuff, you know.
What?
Well, your mom and I had started watching Schitt's Creek, which is pretty funny. Yeah, it's pretty funny, and we got to the fourth season. Mom's kind of lost interest in it. I watched another episode tonight. Just Dan Levy, that's Eugene Levy's son, who plays his son in the show, is just absolutely hilarious. Anyway, so I've been watching that some. Of course, we always just sit and watch Office just as background noise almost. We've watched it so much. I started watching, and I got about 3 episodes in. It's just like a mini-series kind of thing on Netflix called Queen's Gambit, and it's fantastic. I just haven't finished it yet. Fantastic. So good.
Dad.
Yeah.
Dad, now
oh, and Mandalorian.
Of course, Mandalorian. Now that you have access to my Hulu, you can watch a bunch of stuff on there too.
Mm-hmm.
You can watch MASH again. All of MASH is on there.
I know. So anyway, I'm trying to. Well, I do too. I mean, good grief, I've watched it way more than you have. Although you're probably catching up. But as far as new stuff, I'm trying to think if there's any new stuff.
I've been watching Archer.
Yeah,
that's relatively new.
I'm trying to get into Star Wars Clone Wars. Even though it's animated and I'm not a huge fan of the animation style, it tells storyline stuff between episodes 3 and 4, I believe.
Yeah, basically.
Is it?
It's actually it tells stories
between 2 and 3.
Yes,
between 2 and 3 because
then the new season that was brought up when Disney Plus was a thing that connects the pieces between episodes 3 and 4.
So does Anakin turn into Darth Vader in Clone Wars?
I don't think he turns into Vader during Clone Wars, but we do see Order 66.
Okay. Well, but if the last season of Clone Wars ties 3 and 4 together, well, Anakin was Darth Vader by end of episode 3. So if it ties 3 and 4 together, then he should be Darth Vader by the end of Clone Wars.
That
didn't make sense.
I never saw him as Vader with the whole mask and everything.
Yeah. So okay. So anyway, it's just kind of interesting.
This last season, it's more following Ahsoka than Anakin. You know.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting watching Mandalorian. Have you been watching Mandalorian at all?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's so good. It is so good.
Well, why is it good? It's basically Boba Fett watching after Baby Yoda.
It is not Boba Fett. It is not Boba Fett.
It's a Mandalorian.
But it's not Boba Fett. You can't say it's Boba Fett. It's not Boba Fett. It's a Mandalorian.
That's the only other person I've seen wear that armor.
So anyway.
Boba Fett, Jango Fett, the Fetts.
The Mandalorians. They all wear that armor. There's a whole... I
always thought that was just a bounty hunter thing.
It's like a whole religious sect. So, and they never take their mask off. Anyway... So,
except for those one people,
those one people, grammar much?
Except for those people, and he's like, you took your masks off. You're not true Mandalorians.
Right. And there's some different sects in Mandalorian.
Are you not even gonna wonder how I knew that if I've never seen the series?
No, I'm not. I'm moving on. So anyway, it's just kind of weird because all of my nerd worlds kind of came crashing in together. Because in this last episode of Mandalorian, spoiler for everybody, spoiler.
Spoiler.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough.
I know. That's what I was gonna do. That's all I was gonna do.
So, Katie Sackhoff is in this latest episode of...
Who's Katie Sackhoff?
Starbuck from Battlestar Galactica.
I've never seen Battlestar Galactica.
Oh my goodness! You really need
Dad.
You owe it to yourself.
You watched.
You owe it to yourself to watch Battlestar Galactica. I think it's on Hulu. You owe it to yourself to watch that show. It is very good.
You watched growing up, okay. but then at the same time, Battlestar Galactica had inappropriate scenes at the age I was at.
Well, you're 24 now, so you know. Anyway, instead of watching MASH for the 4th time through, or however many times through it's been,
10th.
So watch Battlestar Galactica. Watch that on Hulu. It is really good.
Why though?
Because it's just good. It's just really good. It's good storytelling. It's good writing. Anyway, so she plays Starbuck in Battlestar Galactica. That's where I know her from, really, mostly. But she also did the voice of a character I can't remember because I haven't gotten to that part of Clone Wars yet. She plays a character in Clone Wars. Well, she showed up in episode 12 of Mandalorian. Oh. What?
From the clip of the Mandalorian I saw that had the same mask scene.
She's the redhead.
Yes.
That's Katie Sackhoff.
Redhead. Yes, and there's a redhead that's basically best friends with Ahsoka.
Yes.
In the season of Clone Wars. So,
yes.
Oh my gosh.
It's the same character. Yes, they're tying it in.
So
they're tying all that stuff in. Ahsoka, they've already mentioned Ahsoka in Mandalorian, so she's showing up here soon in Mandalorian.
So then that means that this whatever the heck race of alien Yoda is. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's it. I'm watching Mandalorian.
Been trying to tell you for a long time now.
Shut up.
It'll
take me literally one day.
Jon Favreau is doing such a good job, because he's the one that's the executive producer and directing a lot of the episodes. He's not directing all the episodes, but he's directing some of them.
He's a great director.
He is.
He directed a lot of these Marvel movies.
Sure,
and he did a great job with them.
He's just so good, and he's a fan. You can tell he's a fan because he's tying in so many storylines from, the Clone Wars and all these different kind of things. In the last episode, episode 11, or they call it chapter 11. At the very end, as Mando, they call him, is speeding across the desert in his little speeder with Baby Yoda. There's a dude standing up on a hill watching him with no helmet on, and he turns around and it's Boba Fett. So Boba Fett is right there at the end of chapter 11. There's Boba Fett. Boba Fett's still alive. So the Sarlacc thing didn't eat him somehow.
What? Wait.
Yes.
Wait. If this is mentioning Ahsoka,
so sidetracked. We are so sidetracked.
If this is mentioning Ahsoka, Boba Fett didn't fall into the Sarlacc pit until episode 6, which is way after any clones would still be alive.
That's true. See, I have such a hard time keeping up with the timelines and who's what where. I need to go read because someone's got it all laid out. But anyway, it's no. Maybe that was Boba Fett. Boba Fett was, yeah. See, that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if the one that died and
the man was fully decapitated by Mace Windu. Ain't no way he's coming back.
Yeah, I'm trying to. So I can't remember.
Literally in the movie, we see his head fly off, helmet going one direction, head going the other direction.
Let me just put it this way: I just like Star Wars. I can't keep up with the timeline. I don't care. It's fun.
But then
I don't know it well enough.
If they can bring back Darth Maul, they can bring back Jango Fett if they wanted to.
Yeah, and and maybe Darth Maul, he's just, he's a Borg. He's like half C-3PO and half,
So
Darth Maul.
Okay, wait. His bottom half is robotic, right?
I don't know. I have no idea. I was just making that up. I have no clue.
How this is going to be very juvenile.
And maybe he's just like Deadpool and he's got baby legs and a baby pee-pee as he's growing it back.
No. It's been proven Darth Maul is basically a robot from the waist down.
Okay, whatever.
Look
at Darth Vader. Darth Vader's half same thing.
The juvenile part of me is just thinking, how does he go to the bathroom? That's the juvenile part of me. That's just,
I don't know. He poops oil. I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, so we have really gone off the rails for the last 20 minutes or whatever. We're an hour.
Hey,
we're almost an hour.
Star Wars is worth it.
Yeah, that's true.
Star Wars is worth it.
Even though I don't understand all the timelines all the time and I can't keep up with who's what, where, when, and all that kind of stuff, the only thing I can remember for sure is Rogue One is between episodes 3 and 4.
Yes.
That's the only thing I can remember. And
literally the final days between 3 and 4.
And they were talking to the actress that played the main character in Rogue One. What was her name? Shoot, I'm drawing a blank because I don't. I'm
Jennifer
terrible.
Lawrence, was it?
Oh God, no. She's not been in Star Wars.
I don't know. She's been in a lot of stuff.
I'm great with faces. I'm terrible with names, and so I can't remember the name of the actress or the character. Anyway, there was an interview with her recently, and it sounds like there's a chance that there's going to be another movie with those characters.
Okay, but how? They blew up on a planet.
Because I think she was quoted as saying, not everybody's died. Or maybe not everybody died. Maybe some people got off the planet in time. I don't know.
Well, she didn't.
Well, who knows? But the point
literally, we saw them sitting together as they saw the explosion go through the planet like a freaking tsunami.
Right. But maybe, I don't know. So look, if
someone has some Star Trek transporter thing and beam me up C-3PO crap.
Yeah. I want her to survive, and I want the monk to survive, and I want K2SO to survive. Those are only I could care less about the rest. or just transport the brain / voice of Alan Tudyk into some other droid. I don't care. As long as Alan Tudyk is involved, I'm cool. But okay, we need
What?
to we
What
need
is
to be.
with your obsession with Alan Tudyk?
I just find he's just fantastic. He's just hilarious. I just love the guy. I mean, he was he was
What else
Pirate
was he
Steve in Dodgeball. Steve the Pirate.
That's Alan Tudyk?
That's Alan Tudyk. He's Steve the Pirate.
What the heck? I could have sworn
And he's
there was
K2SO. And he was like in some German guy that was like somebody's bodyguard / assassin in some movie. I forgot what it was, but yeah, he's just good in everything. He was also in Firefly.
What's Firefly?
Okay.
Dad, I don't know this stuff.
Firefly was a sci-fi show that was on Fox. It was only on for one season. Fox refused to pick it back up for a second season, and it was so popular. Have you ever heard people talk about the brown coats at DragonCon?
No.
Okay, people talk about brown coats. Anyway, Firefly
I've heard
is
people
so
talk about the red shirts.
Firefly is so popular that there are groups of people that kind of identify as brown coats or whatever from that show, and it was only on for one season. That's it. That's how much that show was loved. It had anyway, it had other people in it that I've drawn a blank on. I mean, I can picture their faces, but I can't think of the names again, as usual. They did do a movie. They did a Firefly movie. But anyway, it just left so much left to be said that everybody was so angry that the show would never got picked up. And it's been so many years now that it would be too late to pick it back up, unless you just did it with new actors playing those characters.
So basically a reboot.
Yeah, and I don't think you would catch that fire in a bottle again. So, but anyway, dude, we need to move on. We've been
to
talking.
Be fair, they're rebooting basically everything nowadays.
Yeah, I know. We need to move on, dude. It's been an hour and we haven't even gotten to the movie yet.
So this will be one of our rare super long episodes. Who cares?
Well, even though it's been an hour. Well, now, granted, we've been streaming for an hour, but we've only been talking for 45 minutes or so, 50 minutes. But yeah, and when we start talking about the movie, it's gonna be pretty short anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
So
okay,
anyway,
so
you ready to talk about the movie?
Yep.
Okay. So,
as ready as I'll ever be.
All right, so it's time for the next installment of Roll for Credits.
Roll for Credits.
Well, that was a delayed reaction. Oh, I got to pull up. Okay, so in this installment of Roll for Credits, we're reviewing the 2016 movie Mindhorn. It was listed as in the cult classic section of, was it Netflix? Netflix. And it's supposed to be some, funny, cult classic type movie. And the tagline is, a has-been actor best known for playing the title character in the 1980s detective series Mindhorn must work with the police when a serial killer says that he will only speak with Detective Mindhorn, who he believes is a real person. So it was one of those shows where, one of those movies where it's supposed to be kind of really cheesy, so that it's funny because it's cheesy.
Yeah.
So that's. It was just cheesy.
Yeah.
It was just cheesy and bad.
Yeah, it was. I mean.
So, all right. So the plot of the movie is, Hara, look, there's this guy. He played this, his name was Richard Thorncroft or something like that. And he played this character, Mindhorn. And the storyline about Mindhorn is he was captured by the Russians, and the Russians did experimentation on him and replaced his eye with a robotic eye that could literally see the truth. And so his last name in the show was Mindhorn. His last name was Mindhorn, so that's where that name came from. But he always wore an eye patch that had like a red glowing light in it, and he could see the truth in people. Hence, the truth is out there. See, the truth is out there. If you see it on my sign, if you're watching, if you're only listening, you don't see my marquee sign that says the truth is out there. But anyway, so so there was that, and he had a female sidekick who in real life was his girlfriend, live-in, lover, whatever. And he decided to leave the show and go to Hollywood because people were telling him he was going to be the next Burt Reynolds, and then everything crashed and burned, and he was flash forward 25 years later, and he's an old, washed-up, out-of-shape actor. His female co-lead is now a news anchor on some TV station.
Married to a stuntman.
Married to the stuntman that was his stuntman during those years. And there's this. It all takes place on the Isle of Man, which is off the coast of Ireland, I think. I don't know my geography that well. But it's in that area. England, Great Britain, Ireland, Scotland, up in there. And so there's a serial killer. There's been a murder on Isle of Man, and the person who they think did it will only speak to Detective Mindhorn because he thinks Detective Mindhorn is a real person. Because he was watching, the storyline is this kid, this young man, was watching the Mindhorn TV show when the police came to the house and told him that his parents had just gotten killed in a car accident. And it traumatized him, and he became obsessed with the show Mindhorn because that was the last thing he was watching when he found out his parents were dead. So he has this shrine to Mindhorn in his house, and he thinks that Mindhorn is real. And it goes through the whole... So the storyline is Mindhorn is trying to help capture this guy. Then he kind of
really only trying to help himself.
But he's really only doing it to try to help himself to kind of get popular again so he was being really selfish, which kind of was his character. And so he's trying to, quote, capture this guy, but he's really just trying to get more notoriety for himself so he could get back into the limelight and maybe revitalize his career. Then he kind of finds out that maybe this guy didn't do it and is, and is looking at, okay, my it just did just weird things. So my touch portal app just kind of did something really weird, so I got to restart it. But so then they go through that whole process of trying to figure out who really did it, who's in on it, and all that kind of stuff. It's supposed to be like funny.
The trailer so showed it as a comedy with some of the line snippets and everything.
Yeah, but it was just really, really bad.
It was bad and it was sad.
Yeah. So I don't know. Oh man, my touch portal app is on page 2, and I don't know how to get it back to page 1.
Oh jeez, Faye. Dad, come on.
Oh well. So I don't know how to do my sound effects now. So I got to fix that. But anyway, so it was just like, it was, I mean, I sent you the text when I was watching. I was about halfway through it. I'm like, this movie's just really sad. I mean, here's this guy who is just a pathetic character. He kind of trampled on people when he was popular and famous back in the 80s. He said some really horrible things about people, co-stars, and the Isle of Man where the show was filmed and set. And so he burned a lot of bridges because he thought
he would make it big in Hollywood.
And so he didn't think he needed all those people. And so when that happened, and then he comes back 25 years later and he kind of needs these people to help him, they're just trashing him and they won't have anything to do with him and they're embarrassing him and ridiculing him.
Well, he kind of deserves it.
And I'm not saying he didn't deserve. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he didn't deserve that because he kind of did. But but then you saw in him, the desperation to try to revitalize his career somehow. And just having to face the music of the life that he had created for himself. And it was just sad and pathetic. I didn't find anything funny about it at all. Now, granted, there was some redemption by the end, yes, and he did end up helping save the day by using some
Some
of
weird redemption.
yeah. But it was more sad and pathetic than it was funny ever. It was
Yeah.
never funny. So I don't know.
I don't really have anything much else to say about the movie either. It was just you said everything, you know. I couldn't.
Well, yeah, I don't really know. Usually we have a bunch of good things and bad things to say about the movie.
But this one was just bad.
I don't know that I have anything good to say about the movie. Um yeah, the I think his old PR guy, his old agent, I thought he was pretty funny.
Yeah, he was funny.
He was funny. And I loved his accent. Every time I heard him talk, I was thinking all I could hear in my head was Mike Myers playing his old Irish dad, and So I Married an Axe Murderer. That's what I kept hearing in my head. It's like, heed, paper, no. all I could hear was Mike Myers in my head whenever that guy talked. What?
Hand.
Oh, your hand's hurting.
And yeah, I'm just getting a cramp. I got to get one of my rubber bands and do some exercises.
Yeah. Well, he was funny, but it's mainly more about his accent than it was anything else. And the
And a blow up doll was his secretary.
his blow up doll. He had a blow up doll for a secretary. And the stunt man, the old stunt man guy, I thought he was kind of funny, but it was mainly more because of his accent. It was more because of his accent than anything else.
True, and just how he was literally trying to one up Richard in every single way possible.
Yeah.
He stayed in shape. Richard did not. He got Pat, which was Richard's love interest in the show and in real life during the time.
Yeah.
He got his car, the iconic quote unquote mind horn car.
Mm-hmm.
He got that.
Yeah.
He got everything, and for every moment he had to basically make fun of Richard, he took. You know?
Yeah.
Like the scene with the fan mail, you know,
right.
He was going on and on and on about how people kept on sending him fan letters because they loved him so much and everything.
Yeah.
And then he opens up this big basket. And actually he's got this big heavy thing in his hand, but really it's basically just a videotape and then 2 letters. That's it.
Right.
It's like, oh, here you go.
So and I don't really know where the whole
there was the thing with the graffiti.
I don't. Yeah, well, that was Mindhorn and his agent, Richard and his agent had a drunken.
They got high
night of partying and debauchery, and apparently, Richard went and painted as many different body parts on the stuntman guy's car as he could, and that was actually pretty funny. But
including a butt, an actual butt.
Yeah.
He put it on the door, or so that so that the only way to open up the door, or your hand had to go quote unquote inside the butt.
Yeah.
That was kind of funny.
Which reminds me, and this is a chicken, but and I don't know that I can't really play it on here. I mean, I probably could figure out how to, but I'd have to. I don't know how. But I was in Savannah this week for work, and it's one of what we call our training camp weeks, where we just all of the HP and the psych and chap, we all go down, nutritionists, and just take care of these guys for a week and do exercise programs and some recovery and all that stuff. And I do a lot of mindfulness with them, breathing exercises for recovery and everything after their workouts. And did some mindfulness with them. And one of the guys sent me, because there's an app that they use for their messaging called Signal, which is a little bit more secure messaging, and so that's what they use, and so I'm in on it with them. And one of them sent me a video clip that I'll have to send you. And it says mindfulness with Dr. McKay, and this is a video clip of this guy, and it's like some kind of EDM concert or whatever, and there's all this music playing, and people are in the crowds, and their eyes are closed because he's talking to these people, and it sounds like he's trying to do some mindfulness. He's like, and this music playing, he says, "Okay, focus, no, relax your anus." And then it shows people in the crowd, and the people in the crowd they just kind of do like this. I'm like, what? Relax your anus? And it says, relax your shoulders. I'm like, wait a minute, how can you go from your anus to your shoulders when you're relaxing? I just thought it was funny. I'll have to send you the clip. So I know that does nothing for the people listening to the podcast. It does nothing for the people that would be watching the stream, if anybody was watching the stream. But it is one of the funny. It just caught me off guard, and I laughed so hard in the gym. It was just hilarious. So, but it was all out of love. They did it out of love. It's not that they were making fun of me. They feel comfortable enough to joke with me like that. So anyway, yeah, that was a big chicken. But you know what, guys? I do not recommend watching Mindhorn. Here's the thing. I was just thinking about this, because we watched Destination Wedding last week, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and it got worse ratings than this movie. I don't get that. Speaking of which, I'm going to pull up the Metacritic reviews on this movie, because I cannot figure out how in the world this thing got. Trying to see if I can pull up the Meta. Oh, wait. Back. Meta. Okay, the Meta score is 70. So
what the heck?
Yeah. The highest review it got is 80. Mindhorn is a ridiculous comic creation taken to an extraordinary laugh-a-minute heights. No. Thorncroft is a gem of comedy creation, played to perfection by Barat. It's just, okay. No, I completely... So, here's the thing. Okay, so this is supposed to be a movie that was supposed to be funny and like a cult classic kind of thing. And it was just miserable. And it was
British
sad.
Funny.
And it was sad. And it wasn't even British funny, because I like British humor. And it just wasn't funny. And it was just kind of sad and pathetic. But last week was a movie about two of the most miserable human beings on the face of the planet. And I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, I found it funny too.
So, I guess I just must not be movie smart, because the critics liked this one and didn't like the other one, and I liked the other one and didn't like this one. So, whatever. Yeah. Guys, I do not recommend Mindhorn. If you want to, go ahead, but it's not worth your time. It's only an hour and 28 minutes or something like that. It's not even worth it. So I wouldn't even bother with it. So we watched it, so you don't have to.
Yeah,
there you go.
We should put that on a t-shirt.
Well, some of the movies that we've watched, absolutely we should have. Yes.
We
some
watch
of the other,
it, so you don't have to.
Whatever the opera comedy, whatever, with Anthony Hopkins and Jeremy Irons. Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
Oh God, that was one of the one of the worst ones that we've seen.
I still don't consider that a musical. Well, it was a movie about a musical.
Yeah, I agree. Completely agree. But it was in the musical category, so whatever.
I mean, Fiddler on the Roof, that's a musical.
Yeah.
Cats, that's a musical. Even Sweeney Todd, that's a musical.
You know what? Fiddler on the Roof. Of course, we love Fiddler on the Roof in our family. Another one.
Richmond.
Well, Jewish chicken.
That's my.
Well, Hebrew chicken. So anyway, and another one and I'm not a huge musical fan.
Is it a kosher chicken?
Good question. It's definitely not pork. But anyway, I don't like musicals by and large. I love Fiddler on the Roof because I love the story.
Same here. The story is amazing.
Never seen Cats. Never really had an urge to see Cats, but I've never seen Cats. Definitely not going to watch the movie Cats that just came out recently. I've heard it was like one of the most horrid movies ever. And
It's got freaking Rebel Wilson and Idris Elba. No.
well, I mean, I love Idris Elba, but I don't want to see him as a cat.
Exactly.
It's got Dame Judi Dench in it as a cat.
What? Oh.
So
No.
anyway, another good one that I like, another musical that I like. If you see it on Hulu or if you see it on Netflix or Amazon, you ought to watch it. It's called A Chorus Line. And it was started out as a Broadway play, but it's a
Dinosaurus line. And was
what was that from?
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, yeah, right.
Awesome Robin Williams.
I'm sure that was a rip off of that, but it's called A Chorus Line, and I really like that one again because I like the story that's in it, and so that one was really good. But by and large, I don't like musicals. Why are we talking about musicals?
Have you ever seen Sweeney Todd?
No, I have not. I know that's supposed to be pretty good too. I know
it is. So Johnny Depp does an amazing job.
Not a huge Johnny Depp fan. Actually.
What?
Just not. I mean, he's okay in Pirates of the Caribbean, but
yeah. That's basically the only thing I've seen him in recently.
Right. I know. I mean, he's a good actor. I'm just not a big fan of his. So
yeah. Okay. Hey,
so how about we roll?
For the next
we
movie?
need to roll for the next movie and move on because I want to go play some more Destiny. Yeah. So.
And I'm gonna go to bed. I'm freaking exhausted.
Fine.
Shut.
Well, we got to end anyway.
I have 4 days off next week.
My drink is almost good. So what days do you have off? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Thursday through Sunday.
You have Sunday off all the time anyway, so that doesn't really count.
Yeah, but
you mean a 4-day weekend? You mean a 4-day weekend?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
That's because the last 2 weeks I've worked 6 days both weeks, including this one.
I know. Good money. So anyway, I'm rolling all the dice, even though I only need one because I like the sound of rolling all the dice. So all right, so we're gonna roll and see.
Just roll them all at once and then read them off one by one.
Yeah, and we're gonna eventually, guys, roll into hold on one sec, I gotta pull something up here. We're gonna roll Hulu into our rotation, but we haven't done that yet. So anyway, sorry, I got
once we figure out the dice mechanics of it, we'll put it in.
Yeah, I got to pull up my categories list here. So hold on one sec. Oh, great, and of course it's running an update. So talk amongst yourselves.
Murmur. Talking.
Harump,
we are talking.
Harump.
Broad.
What?
Broad.
What?
It's a TikTok thing. I think this guy made this new comical species of animal called broads, and it's basically frat boys as animals. We've got the river broad, we've got the no-toed broad, the tree broad, the sand broad.
Okay.
And
good enough.
And then the two-toed broad.
Okay, so here we go. All right, you ready? I got my list up.
Yep.
All right, so I rolled a 9, so that would fall in the Amazon category.
All right.
Amazon
sucks.
Oh, Amazon's got some good stuff, dude.
They need to get better stuff.
Well, yeah, I know. They're still trying to compete with Netflix, but anyway. All right, let's see what category we got. Oh, cool. 10. Thriller. I like thrillers.
Oh, dang it.
All right, now
I hate thrillers and horror movies.
Well, and I rolled a 64. So now, hold on, I'm going to pull up Amazon and go to their thriller section and go down and find the 64th movie in it. So while I'm doing that, y'all just hang tight and listen to some elevator music.
All right.
Okay. All right. 64.
That was fast.
Dude, I mean, like I said, I got the links directly on my browser. I just go straight to that, each category and then just scroll down the list and count. I can count fast. It's, because it's like if you got like 6 on a line, you got an array, you go, okay, 6, 12, 18, 24, you just kind of just go straight down. So, okay, cool.
All right.
This is one that I've kind of been interested in seeing, and I've just never gotten around to see it. Now I'm going to have to. It's the 2018 movie called A Simple Favor. It's starring Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively.
Who's Blake Lively?
Okay, well, you know who Anna Kendrick is? Anna Kendrick
No.
is she did the I think she was in the acapella singing movies. What were they called?
Pitch Perfect?
Yes, so she was in those.
Okay.
Blake Lively is Ryan Reynolds' wife. Deadpool's wife. Not Deadpool's wife in the movie, but the actor Ryan Reynolds, it's his wife. And so it's Blake.
They don't have the same last name?
No. Well, most actors don't. They keep their own last name when they're actors because that's how they're known. Sometimes they do, but not usually. Anyway, so it stars Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively. They're the two main characters. And it says Stephanie is a single mother with a parenting vlog who befriends Emily, a secretive upper-class woman who has a child at the same elementary school. When Emily goes missing, Stephanie takes it upon herself to investigate. So Stephanie is played by Anna Kendrick, and Emily is played by Blake Lively. So one of these days, I'm going to figure out how to pull the trailer into our stream so people can see the trailer, or at least hear the trailer. But anyway, so that's actually one that I've been wanting to see. Anna Kendrick is actually pretty funny, and I like Blake Lively too. Okay, did you ever see Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds?
Yes.
Okay, that's Blake Lively, the woman, the lead, the female lead, his romantic interest in that movie.
That's Blake?
That's Blake Lively. That's where they met. They met on that movie, and then they're married.
Really?
So, yeah, that's where they met.
That's kind of cool.
That is kind of cool. Horrible movie, but he's like, hey, I can never hate on Green Lantern because that's where I met my wife. So anyway, and they've got a couple of kids together now, and they seem pretty happy.
Aw.
And, yeah. So anyway,
It's rare to see a Hollywood couple be actually happy, you know?
Yep. It's very rare because, and here's the thing, Hollywood is full of beautiful people, and I think beautiful people like to be with beautiful people because it makes them look more beautiful when they're with someone that's beautiful. But that doesn't mean that they're necessarily compatible or that they really like each other or, they do like each other. But, hey, I'm doing a movie with someone else who's even more beautiful than you. And now I'm going to hook up with her. And now I'm going to leave you and go be with her. And that's what Hollywood's like. But so that's why marriages don't usually last in Hollywood. But there are a few that do. And so that's kind of cool.
Like the only other one I can think of is Tom Hanks and his wife.
Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson, they've been together for a long time. Matthew Broderick and his wife have been together for a long time. Sarah Jessica Parker.
Was Robin Williams close with his wife?
I don't remember. I don't know. I don't think she was an actress.
Okay. Gotcha.
Paul Newman and his wife. I'm drawing a blank on her name. Woodward. Anyway, they were together for years until he passed away. Who are some other ones that are out there?
Is Chris Pratt doing okay?
Well, he's on his second marriage, so.
Oh, okay.
But he's married to Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter. I think. So there's that. So Peter,
that is every guy's worst nightmare.
So
Your father-in-law is literally the Terminator.
So Peter Quill is married to the Terminator's daughter. Yeah, there you go.
My God. That beats my fear hands down.
It
I'm
seems
so
like
terrified of Nikki's dad.
It seems like Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are in good shape. Their relationship is in good shape. John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, their relationship seems to be in really good shape. So there's a few out there, but that Spy Kids. Okay, you remember Spy Kids?
Yeah.
Okay, you remember the girl? There's the boy and the girl, the brother and sister.
Yeah.
Okay, the sister. I mean, she's an adult now, right?
Yeah, they're both adults.
Yeah, and she's married to some, I forgot what shows or what movies he was in, but they're married and they have kids, and they've moved to Hawaii to get away from Hollywood because they're Christians and they want to be able to raise their children in a healthier cultural environment. And so I thought that was kind of cool when I read about that. So they've left Hollywood. They've gotten out of Hollywood and they live in Hawaii somewhere now. And I think she may be homeschooling her kids, and it's just kind of neat. You don't see that too often in Hollywood.
Oh,
you know?
Dad.
Yes. We're just dragging people out through this mud, aren't we? What?
Do you by chance remember a movie called Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I've heard of it.
They're making a sequel to it on Netflix.
So they'll make a sequel to some crap called Shark Boy and Lava Girl, but they won't do another season of Firefly. That's just injustice. I'm sorry. That's just flat out.
I mean, the original Shark Boy and Lava
criminal
Girl had George Lopez.
I don't care, man. I'm sorry.
George Lopez is an awesome actor.
If anything if you're going to tell me Shark Boy and Lava Girl deserves a sequel or a continuation of that story before something like Firefly, then I need to get you some serious drugs. So, anyway. That's it. So the next movie is going to be the next movie is going to be the thriller A Simple Favor with Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively, and we have dragged this out way too long, people.
Yes,
so, so here's what you've been watching, guys, or here's what you've been listening to. This is a father and son that love talking geeky stuff that don't get to talk about it as much as we used to, and so sometimes we forget that we're doing a stream and we just start talking. So sorry, but not sorry. So
exactly,
deal with it. So we're gonna go and. Listen, we usually do this. Just a reminder, we do this on Friday nights at 8 o'clock. Sometimes we try to do game streams together. And
I haven't been doing that lately, though.
No, but he streams as Quillmeister on Twitch. I sometimes stream as Head Gamer, but lately I've been streaming more as Gene Pool Podcast and doing the streams through our podcast stream, just kind of keep it all there. So check out Gene Pool Podcast on Twitch. You can find me at Twitter on Head Gamer. The podcast itself is GP Variety Hour on Twitter. And Connor, you can be found on Twitter where?
You can find me basically anywhere that is a nerdy following as Quillmeister. Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, everywhere.
Yep. And listen, if you wanna hang out and play games with us on Xbox, we're Xbox Live. You can find us. My gamer tag is Head Gamer on Xbox Live, and yours is
Quillmeister.
There you go. So find us there, join us, and come play some Destiny with us. All right, and we will do this again next week. Do you want to do it the Friday after Thanksgiving? Do you want to do this coming Friday?
Yeah, Black Friday. Why not?
Sounds like a plan, because I'm not going shopping anywhere. I'm sitting my butt at home because COVID and everything else. So, all right. So that's all we got, guys. Thanks for hanging out and listening. I do apologize for us kind of just jumping down about 5 or 6 rabbit holes today, but that's just kind of...
It was more like 10 or 20.
That's just kind of what we do. That's why we have Chase the Chicken for our mascot, because we chase a lot of chickens. So, again, y'all have a great night. Thanks for listening, and until next time...
Remember, stay nerdy, my friends. Chase. Get that thing out my face. I slapped my camera. I didn't mean to slap my camera. Get the thing out my face. Come on now.
Bye, guys.
See you guys.